Well, tonight there is an inspiring story. Lucy Meyer is a 14-year-old girl with cerebral palsy who has raised more than $100,000 for UNICEF in its campaign to help disabled children around the world. UNICEF has just issued a new report on the shocking conditions many children with disabilities face in the developing world.
Children with disabilities are often at the end of the line. You know, in developing nations, in places where we say, you know, the people themselves are at the end of the line, they're the last person at the end of that line.
Some of them are chained to a bed while the other their brothers and sisters go to school and their parents go to work because they don't know what to do.
Why do you support UNICEF?
Because I want to help UNICEF kids with disabilities around the world, and I want them to survive and live and play sports and go to school and be like kids without disabilities.
Lucy is a joy. That's truly the word. You know, I gave her a little heart today that's UNICEF blue. And I gave it to her because she is the heart and soul of tonight. Lucy reminds us that she's a person, not a disability.
Lucy is something of a medical miracle, leading an active life, but many in other countries do not have the same opportunities. An event hosted by her parents tonight was designed to raise awareness of their plight.
How do you think people can help?
By raising money and making sure they get food and water and medicine, sports, and get to play and do everything that kids love to do.
My daughter Lucy is speaking, who's a youth advocate for UNICEF, especially for children with disabilities, and also is a Special Olympics athlete. Lucy, do you want to tell Brandon what you're wearing around your neck?
Okay. Talk to me about your medals.
That's embarrassing.
So you have 2 medals. Talk to me about your medals. Where did you get the medals?
From swimming, one from backstroke and one for breaststroke.
One of the most enduring moments and highlights of being with Lucy last night is when she asked me with complete confidence, "What is my disability?" Do you remember, Lucy? And as I explained to her that I was not born with my disability, but rather I was diagnosed in adulthood, Lucy continued to ask questions, and she was so engaging, and they were such intelligent questions. And I was totally enamored by her curiosity, and I was in adoration of her compassion.
Could you imagine what a country and world it would be if we had people all like Lucy, looking out, trying to do for others?
Lucy, I'm here primarily because I wanted to acknowledge you and your courage. Lucy, I have a good friend who was in a climbing accident. He can't use his legs from the waist down. He called me a tab. Have you all heard that term ever? He called me a tab. I said, well, what's a tab? Well, a tab is a temporarily able-bodied person. And the point that he was making was that we're all going to have disabilities. In fact, that's what links us together. When we stand together and we acknowledge our essential humanity, we're stronger for it.
UNICEF is making a huge difference by teaching us how to include kids with special needs.
UNICEF, unlike so many of the other charities that do good work, can make an additional contribution, and that is to begin to change the culture of the world. Because even here in the United States, people with disabilities, children with disabilities, face discrimination.
When my son was in the 5th grade, my son has Tourette's, and he developed a twitch that forced him to cough all the time. And the teacher decided that he was interrupting the classroom and perhaps should be removed. And I had the right, as an American citizen with an ADA law behind me, to go and fight for that child, for my child to stay in class. In my current role, I understand now what a privilege having the right to that fight is. That not only did I get the privilege to win that battle, but I had the right to even enter the battleground. And that's not a privilege many of our fellow people around the world get the right to have.
When you look around the world and you look at this report of UNICEF and you realize that children with disabilities are some of the most mistreated, marginalized people in all societies. And so it starts with awareness. And this report creates the awareness. Difficult to read as a parent with a child with disabilities.
What do you hope people take away from reading UNICEF's report?
The amount that we can be a force for good and have been a force for good. When you look at the impact that UNICEF has had on child mortality rates around the world, which have halved over the last 50 years, and you see yet what more can be done, it's really quite compelling.
Hi Lucy, I'm Henry Waxman. I'm the congressman for your district. Let me tell you, with your spirit and enthusiasm, I want you to represent me in fighting for all kids everywhere, and I'll join you in that fight.
Hi Lucy, I'm Congressman Elliot Engel of New York. I came all the way from New York, all the way from the other side of the country to come here and say hello to you, and really just amazed at how smart you are and how courageous you are. And you can count me into anything that you want to do.
I want UNICEF to make it so that kids with disabilities can be accepted and play, learn, and have fun, just like kids without disabilities.
Lucy, I have a special presentation for you. I don't know if you and perhaps Jamie and Chuck could come on up here. One of the neat things I get to do as a member of Congress is to get one of the flags that's been flown over the Capitol in Washington, D.C., and to give it to someone who's been of extraordinary service to our country and to the world. And so, Lucy, I'd like to give you this flag.